What up, Podheads? Episode 122 of the Podioslave Podcast. My name is Tony. I am here in person with Anthony and Nate. How you boys doing?
Live and direct, in full effect, in person. Do we want to disclose our location, or is that too risky?
It's risky.
It's risky. Well, hey, we're in Maine, the three of us. We're not going to tell you where, but the three of us are here in person. Is Nate even here? Are you going to talk, Nate, or what?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm in the outhouse, right? If you watch the GWAR episode, I'm in the outhouse. But no, it's funny. We're all here in person, but we're still socially distanced for reasons that only podcasters would know, technically, so we don't pick up each other's feedback and whatnot. But yeah, it's good to be here in the flesh with the other nerds in person. And like Tuan said, an undisclosed location. But it happens to be the location where nerdery happens to live in storage. A lot of it, too, like 25 years worth of it. So it's nice to feel that stuff in hand as well.
Yeah, and we're going to dig into another one of Nate's bins tonight, which we did, jeez, is that 2 years ago almost?
It was
2 years ago.
2020, right?
So, yeah.
Holy shit.
We're going to do that again tonight, but first we're going to, just talk a little bit about the week that we've had, and having Blothar of GWAR last week was friggin' badass, and the conversation came out better than I thought it would, and then listening back to it, I think I've listened to it 3 times because it's just so cool. Like, it was just a great convo, and he was kind of everything I hoped he would be and then some. So, yeah, shouts to Blothar if you're listening out there, whatever planet you're on right now. We really appreciate chatting with him last week and how much fun that was.
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean, when we kind of locked that in, I didn't know who is it, Michael Bishop? That's the real guy's name. I didn't know if we're going to get him because I've heard, like, there's a TED Talk out there.
Yeah.
And then I've heard an interview. Actually, there's a documentary on Alt Press, the magazine. They have a YouTube channel where all the dudes are just the normal selves. They're not in character. And I'm glad we got him in character because he really didn't break it. Like, you could see some parts, but for the most part, he didn't break character, and it's just fucking hilarious.
That is actually probably the best part because right out of the gate, it was comfortable because he was in character. It was like, all right, let's go with it. And it was just funny. And we were, I don't know, sometimes, I guess if you're a podcaster, you know this, there's a little bit of anxiety, like, how's this going to go? So we do the whole icebreaker thing to do it. But he was the icebreaker because he's in costume.
Right.
And we even cut the video for, as to kind of go along with it. So, and that was another thing. That was the first time we're going to release any kind of video element to that, in pieces, of course. So we're I feel like we're moving on up in that regard too, because video is obviously a big proponent to podcasting. But with him, I mean, you got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he was gracious enough to don his battle armor, as they say, and to have him, in a video form. We put some stuff up last week, and if you want to go, there should be more of it up on our YouTube page. So yeah, just search for Podioslave Podcast on YouTube. Hit us with a subscribe, and you'll like that too. A bunch of stuff in smaller bits from the podcast over the last 2.5 years. So, and some video of us.
And I think we'll do more of that. I think that was one that just kind of organically happened, and it made sense given the outfit. But I think if more people are comfortable with it, because the response from that so far has been pretty positive about having the video. And it was just, at this point, at the time of recording, just a small clip about the Maine maple syrup just being the dominating maple syrup of the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that made me think, they played Wally's like 3 weeks ago at the time of this dropping, and I didn't even know about it.
I didn't either. We don't get enough of Wally's press.
No, we don't.
And I've been down there a couple times, and it's a cool venue for a show. We saw our boys from Trawl down there. Nonpoint was at that show, and that was a badass place to see a heavy show like that. So GWAR would have been, I don't know if you would have been able to hide from the stuff that comes off stage from GWAR.
I saw photos from it, and everyone was soaked. There was before and after.
That's wild.
I feel like that's the kind of, the pictures you showed me from, I guess it was the Trawl show. It looked like there was exposed wood. So that means that wood is permanently stained.
Probably, yeah.
Blood stains.
GWAR came, and then they came again, and then they left.
Oh, man. Don't set them up for another.
I conquered.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So we're about a couple of days away from dropping a trailer from the special project that we've been hinting at over the last couple of weeks. It will be a couple of minutes long. It'll be a voice that you've heard on the podcast in the past, but the other parts of this will be voices you have not heard on the podcast. And names that we are shocked that we've been able to talk to, and they were so cool. And you're going to be really excited about what we got coming for you around this, and it should culminate in something pretty awesome too at the end of the summer. So that's coming. You guys excited for it? I know I am.
I'm stoked, and I think we do a pretty good job of leaving breadcrumbs, whether it's weaved into the episodes on the socials. I feel like if you've been paying attention, maybe on Twitter and IG, you could kind of piece this together, what's going on. But yeah, we're super proud of it. It's coming together great. It's going to be multi-week thing. So if you're a listener of us, you're going to be in for it, because there's some big names. And yeah, to answer your question, I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. It's a very, like you said, proud moment, but it's also the ultimate proof of concept. Without the podcast, this would never happen, right? It's almost like it kind of landed in, on our doorstep, but at the same time, like, it's very appropriate. We collect everything. We're going to be going through my shit today. Like, there might be said festival, paraphernalia in this bin for that matter. So, it's fantastic. It's really cool, and super proud. And it's another reason to geek out multiple times a week. It was once a week. Now it's actually behind the scenes multiple times a week.
I know, Nate, you finally got your wish, right? I
mean,
Nate's been like, let's do 3-hour episodes twice a week. And like, as fun as that would be, we all have lives, and you guys have kids, and it's not,
families,
it just wouldn't be doable right now. But we've kind of been doing that. so
yeah, let's align though. If we pull something that ties to what we're going to be teasing, should we talk about it?
We could talk about it a little bit. We'll leave something to the imagination, because there's some heavy hitters that will come out, a few weeks into it that we don't want to give that away. But yeah, we could talk about it a little bit. Why not?
So what's the format here? So we're, again, undisclosed location. Nate, as we said, what episode was the original one of these? It was back in the 40s, maybe?
You had
30s?
to ask. No, it was less than that.
Less than that.
It had to be like in the...
in the
20s. It was in the mid-20s, probably.
The early aughts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up because I want to know, but I think it was like 24.
And Nate's got bins and bins of magazines, posters, 7-inches, keychains,
matches,
promo bags. I'm sure there's cassettes in there, the CD samplers, just everything, signed everything. And actually, what's great about this episode is I've had a bin of this shit in my house. I finally returned it. Did you return yours, Tom?
Yep.
I did, yes.
Nice.
Yes. Episode 26 for the record.
Wow.
I was close.
Wow.
I was close.
It's almost 100. And that was the last one in person. So I think the format is we're going to blindly reach in. I think this bin is mostly, magazines?
Yeah, mostly magazines.
And we're just going to riff off who we pull out.
Yeah, this one's organized. This one's, a lot of them are just kind of randomly thrown together, almost like a panic move out session in a bin. In a time capsule format, because a lot of the times it's really like the year in a bin. This one actually said magazines on it, so this one's somewhat organized, but it's every magazine from an actual music publication to other stuff, I'm assuming. So
yeah, I spy a Newsweek on top. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in here just from at first glance without really digging into it.
Yeah.
And you're right. The other two bins that Twan and I had were definitely haphazardly thrown together. They're no longer that way because Twan and I organized them and went through them and, maybe skimmed a little off the top.
Hey, that was paying rent. Like I told you guys, that was the deal, which is...
I flattened those posters out for 2 years.
They looked good. They did look good.
I see a toy magazine, Tom DeLonge on the cover here.
Ooh, Toym. Are you DeLonging again?
Of course.
So, all right, Nate. I mean, we are in a place that your family owns. You're gonna go first, man. This is your baby.
Wow. Are we doing it like blindfolded? Just what are we doing here?
Just reach into the stack and pull one out, man.
Okay, here we go.
I mean,
Boom.
you can only see the top one anyway, so it's all blind.
Okay, yeah.
Nate is reaching into the bin. He's away from his microphone. He's very deep. Oh boy, this is actually timely.
Is it timely?
Oh wow. Okay. This is timely because the format of the magazine itself is already different. This is a Rolling Stone magazine from November 17th, 2005 with Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day on the front in perfect condition. This thing's in mint condition.
Does he have eyeliner?
He's awake, right? Because September had ended.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
At this point, he's awake. November.
Skinny tie and eyeliner? Please confirm.
Yep. So timely that it says Billy Joe versus the world. So I mean, he's anti-American now, but he was anti-world back then. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, he is very highlight.
That's a lot of guy liner. Yeah.
that's a lot of guy liner.
So this was post American Idiot, right?
Yep.
And I wonder if they'd been on the cover at that point. I'm sure they had in the 90s.
I mean, this is what breaks up bands, right? It's just Billy. It's not even the band.
It's just
It's true. It is just Billy. It's kind of crazy because we did an episode on Green Day a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome conversation. We had a blast talking about those guys, and we came up with them, as fans and nerds. And around this time, we're very back into them again, but for different reasons, because the music had changed and the message had changed, and that this is around that time. So, yeah, Billy, even recently, was anti what's going on in America, and we're not going to get super political here, but yeah, a lot of people are right now with what's going on with that stuff.
Well, it's funny. We've had, I don't know if it's been on the podcast or just in the text chain, but we've talked about there's some bands where the front man is so predominant in the band that they're the ones that are just signed. Like, I don't know, I'm not going to throw any names out, but this is the kind of shit that, this is the type of band that would happen for. You know what I mean? Especially in this era.
Yep.
I mean, they'd been signed to majors for 10 years at that point plus, but...
This is crazy, especially when you open it. Like, if you get past it, the first page is a two-page spread on the iPod. I think first, obviously not the first generation.
Well, iPod video one, yeah.
Didn't they discontinue the iPod?
Fairly recently, yeah. The Touch, they got rid of it, and that was the last iPod they had.
And just talking about world problems that don't even match what's going on today.
I mean, and it's a thick Rolling Stone. Like, if you look at Rolling Stone today, it's smaller, it's less pages. I mean, everything is the internet is swallowed magazines alive for the most part. But there's some still doing it, and the online piece helps them for sure. And Rolling Stone is still around, but this is certainly. I used to love flying around this time because you're like, oh man, I can grab a Rolling Stone and it's gonna get me through a flight. There's a lot in it.
What about a Sky Mall magazine?
That too, yes, yeah. Sky Mall magazine. I'd order, one of those pillows, those neck pillows, and just go to town.
So I got a question for you, Nate.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to keep that?
It's a great question. I mean, Rolling Stone's a nerdery publication. We shit on them also, so it's kind of funny. But 05, so I guess Green Day was big. Probably saved it for that matter. There's no subscription on here, so it looks like I actually bought this off the newsstand. Or stole it. One or the other. That's a great question. I don't have an answer to that. It might have been like, I need to get something signed. I'll just grab the closest thing. Boom. Might have been something like that. It doesn't look like this was even red. It literally looks like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, not flipped through at all.
That might be eBay Gold.
eBay Gold. I mean, it's so old. The advertisement on the back is for PlayStation 2, which is what? Even...
Yeah.
Right?
That's that era.
We're talking 17, almost 17 years at this point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, to answer your question, that's the mysteries. I don't know why I picked this up.
Building a mystery.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
Twan, I think you're next because it's easier for you to get to it. And I'll have to, prep.
All right. I'm giving you the play-by-play. I'm digging deep. Oh, this is great.
Oh, wow.
So this is a Hit Parader magazine from April 2003. So this is right before we graduated high school. On the cover, The Return of Linkin Park, plus Slipknot, Disturbed, Godsmack, Kitty, Mudvayne, Korn, and Metallica.
Wow.
We've never talked about any of those bands.
This is a house magazine.
And this was, it's like the return of Linkin Park. So this is Meteora.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that dropping in the spring of... I know Blothar doesn't like when we say album drops, but...
Dropping a turd.
I remember that album dropping with spring of 03, I think, right?
I'm laughing because I open up a page, and who's mean mugging me? Josie Scott of Saliva Fame.
Nice.
Saliva Fame at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's not with the band anymore. And I think they're still a band.
Yep. And it's timely because Saliva was such a big part of the beginning of the podcast, so...
Well, and if you go back and listen to our episode with Frank Maddox of Warner Brothers fame and, creative director of a lot of things, art-driven for CDs, Linkin Park. He worked with Linkin Park a lot, and I think he was had a big hand in the Meteora rollout, which was really cool at the time with the spray paint and all the photos of that. That was, 18-year-old me was like, cool, I'm in. This is badass.
Yeah, he was actually in the photos with Mike, spray painting, right? Legitimately, which is really cool.
This is very much of the time. I'm just skimming the mag, and it's a lot of Linkin Park. Obviously, there's Taproot, There's Phil. Hey, Phil.
Oh, nice. Former
we
guest.
talked to Phil a couple times.
System of a Down. You know, a lot of new metal and adjacent. I saw an article on Finch. Here's
Nice.
Audioslave.
Oh, wow. I
Might
see a
have
lot of cargo shorts from a distance.
Might detect Typo Negative, Goth Gods, Crazy Town. Yeah, this is that's a great thing with all this stuff. It's just a time capsule of whatever era.
Oh, and what is this? What you just flipped through? That's like where you order all the merchandise?
Yeah,
That shit was dope.
Rockabilia.
Rockabilia was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an if you know, you know.
Yep.
I feel like you have to be at least 35 to know about Rockabilia.
Yeah, right.
It was before Hot Topic, that's for sure. Or maybe it was a spinoff.
So April of 03, Antoine.
April 03. So Iowa was out. I'm just thinking of some of the bands in this. Slipknot's Iowa was out at that point.
Metallica, was that
Saint Anger.
Saint Anger.
I feel like it
Yeah.
was, yeah. Taproot, Welcome, Gift were both out, right?
Probably Welcome was probably out. Because Gift was what, we did the 20 year in 2020, so
Gift was
that
2000.
was 2000.
Yep.
Welcome was 02, I think.
Disturbed. Disturbed, that's when they were, I think, still somewhat respected, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you saying they're not respected right now?
I'm not saying that. You're saying that.
Oh, okay.
David Draymond's very well spoken. That's where it stops.
Our Lady Peace. It's interesting, like, who was this magazine for? Hit Parader. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's new metal. It's alt rock. It's some of the post-hardcore with Finch. I'm sure Glassjaw was all up in this.
Mm-hmm.
I have an answer. Nate. Us.
Yeah, us.
Like we've spent time with a lot of those bands, right? We've definitely listened to Linkin Park. We've definitely listened to Our Lady Peace.
Yep.
Nate saw Our Lady Peace not that long ago.
Yeah.
Last spring
Yep. Last winter.
or last winter fall. So.
It's the Tiger Beat for Misfits.
Mm-hmm.
17
That's the
minutes.
name of the episode right there. The Tiger Beat for Misfits.
And I believe that magazine's no longer in publication, right? Isn't that defunct, I believe?
I can't imagine it still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
it'd have to be all ads.
Yeah. I mean, I remember picking that up likely at the local Bookland where we lived. Which is,
Bookland.
I don't know who bought
I
them.
loved Bookland.
They got soaked up by someone, but I remember going specifically for that. And if not,
None
once
Such
in a
Books,
while-
I think, is the name
None
of the.
Such?
Yeah, yep.
once in a while, like the local grocery store would have it. It would be like mixed in with like Home and Garden and all this other, stuff clearly for the parents. And then there's like Hit Parader, like sweet.
I'm just gonna go ahead and backtrack to my None Such Books poll. Two things about that. We've had people from all across the fucking world listen to us. Nobody has any fucking clue what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, exactly. That's why it's hard to be. Yeah.
And B, neither of you guys probably know. So you're like, yeah, Toad, you're right. Sure. I apologize to anybody that doesn't live in Mill Creek.
Yeah. Maine listeners will know, but
Mill
specific
Creek
to a
Mike,
region.
he lives there.
Mill Creek, Mike. All right.
We're moving on.
My turn, right?
Yeah.
Rolling Stone to Hit Parader. That's already a good
I'm
start.
going to get up out of this rickety chair that I hope lasts the whole podcast.
So we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's raining right now. If you pick up, there could be animals in the back. I mean,
Yeah.
we're in the middle of nowhere right now.
Yep. The bin was sticky.
Maine maple syrup.
All right. Ooh. This is a house band. This is an MH18 Men's Health magazine. Turn fat into muscle. But the kind of crazy thing about this Men's Health magazine is that Blink-182 is on the cover of it.
What the hell?
Nice.
MH18? Is that aimed at like kids or something?
I think it is. I think it's aimed at
18-year-olds.
it's
and
aimed
above.
at us.
Someone at 18 had to buy it.
November. What's the year on this? November of 01. Which is,
Oh, wow.
21, almost 21 years ago. And it has Mark, Tom, and Travis. Sorry, I'm moving my chair again. Mark, Tom, and Travis. Blink-182 rocks hard. Sick tricks for BMX. Build a huge chest. Free workout booklet. What are these things is not like the other? Win 10 grand for college. Rage. Why are we so mad? And I'm not sure they're talking about Rage Against the Machine. I think they're just talking about rage in general. Why are you 18-year-olds out there? Why are you so mad?
Yeah. Welcome to
It spoke to
2022.
Nate at the time. So 2001, had Mark, Tom, and Travis show come out?
Yes. Right?
Yeah, that was
Enema was 99.
Take Off Your Pants was 01, I think, right?
Oh, that's right. So they were, think about their kind of peak. Were they bigger at Take Off Your Pants or bigger at self-titled?
Probably Take Off Your Pants.
Yeah,
I was gonna
Probably
say
so too.
The height of the thing.
Yep, the height.
Yeah.
So that's what it takes for you to get on the cover of a Men's Health magazine.
I mean, Kobe Bryant is in here. Allen Iverson, like not your typical. But Nate saw Blink on the cover and was like, I have to own this.
Pretty much.
And these are, at least the Hit Parader was in pristine condition.
This one is also in pristine condition.
And Rolling Stones were 3 for 3. eBay gold so far. But,
Is there a market for this stuff? There's got to be.
I don't know.
For some of it, especially if it's in really good shape. I think you can grade these like you can sports cards or...
Oh, wow.
I think you can, yeah.
What would a graded MH18...
That might be one of one. That's the best part. Has anyone saved that magazine? I'm pretty sure that went in the trash.
This magazine, I think this is the only magazine left in existence.
I think it's the only one they made.
I've never heard of the magazine other than that. I pulled it out.
There's a thing on people trying to speak different languages, and it's got a picture of Steve Irwin, who is the crocodile
Oh, yeah.
guy, who rest in peace, and Austin Powers.
Wow.
I don't even, and Mario. This is quite the bag.
I'm trying to time travel when I got that magazine. I'm pretty sure I got that one at an airport. That's why
I
it's so
feel
random.
like it would have to be something like that.
Yeah, because it seems so random. I wouldn't buy that in my local store.
There's also a piece missing. There's a piece cut out here. It's next to piercing pointers. So Nate was looking at some piercings.
That magazine could have been blank and Nate would have bought it.
Yeah, when you're stuck in the airport in 2001 and the iPods are not really popping off and you just need something, you need something to pass the time. Blink on the Men's Health 18 mag, which I didn't even know was a thing until today.
I was going to say me either. Clearly I picked it up, but I've never seen it since or before, so.
I love it.
Good pull, man.
All right, round one.
Round one.
Round one in the books. Nate, you're up.
All right, here we go.
Dig deep.
Wow, he's doing the impossible here, getting the bottom. I mean, this bin must be, 30, 40 pounds?
Oh, dude, we had to carry this. Nate was saying it. It's people don't realize the work that goes into the podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. This night almost didn't happen.
Yeah, again. And here we are. We do have 3 mics. We do have 3, tracks. We're doing the things that we are supposed to do, but just not the conventional way.
All right, here we go. Also timely, somewhat, for a recent episode. Actually, there's a few bands on here that are timely in terms of the segment for supergroups. This is a Revolver magazine from August of 2005. So I guess 2005 I was dropping a lot of money on print media. Yeah, Audioslave's on the cover. Transplants are on here. A Perfect Circle, Velvet Revolver. Yeah, so I guess, there we go. Supergroups Attack.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Nerdvoyance right there.
Nerdvoyance.
I was like, you just named all the supergroups.
Nate just pulled a Green Day one and a Supergroups one, and those were 2 of our last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
We've talked about industry plans. These are magazine plans. You knew what you were pulling.
Yeah, exactly. This is a setup. Alkaline Trio, Meshuggah, Devil Driver, Coheed, Phantomus, Down, Fugazi, Temple of the Dog. Crazy. Yeah, I can't believe. Look at the back. Obviously, that's Velvet Revolver right there.
Yep.
It's funny you mentioned Down. So when we did the Supergroups episode, I had 3 bands that I was prepared to talk about. We only did 2. The third one was Down. And I've been listening to a ton of them.
Well, yeah, you posted about them the other day.
I forgot actually one of the reasons Revolver was such a good deal for a nerd is it always came with a double-sided poster. So you got Avenged Sevenfold on one side, and then you have Audioslave on the other side. And it's actually a decent poster, too.
That right there is probably worth money. Because
Possibly.
that only came out in that magazine, I would imagine.
And it's in pristine shape.
And it's in great shape.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of Nate's posters have...
some of the ones that we had, anyway.
Yeah, just have holes and staple holes, and they were used,
Yeah. Yeah, they were on the Betterment. They were literally on the Betterment. In fact, that's the funniest part of when I get them signed. It's probably kind of genuine, though. It's like, hey, this was actually on my bedroom.
Yeah, on the wall.
It's got the creases for the wall and everything. Yeah, this is cool. I haven't seen this magazine, obviously, since I bought it. Pretty good condition. It's a little worn. If we're talking, rating systems for, vinyl, this is probably, an A-. It's
very good, but not mint.
Yeah, VG.
Yeah.
I'm
going to toot our horn. Revolver has had a few of our guests, too.
Yeah.
Jesse Leach of Killswitch. And who else did they have recently?
I think they posted about GWAR.
They did. They posted about GWAR. There was somebody else they had, too, that It's like we also had them. Oh yeah, we'll save that one for a few weeks. But yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's been kind of cool. We're on Revolver's block, and now we're pulling their magazines from 18 years ago.
Yep. Speaking of, I'm opening this page right here. It's an Ozfest 2005 advertisement. The first band on the bill is Shadows Fall, which is really cool.
We've talked to Brian.
So,
Man, we're making a name, guys.
Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, this is cool. Revolver was a good magazine. I remember they kind of stole the thunder from Rolling Stone because they actually, were talking about bands we cared about, or at least they came with a poster. Let's put it that way.
That poster's in good shape.
Yeah,
I would, if I were you, I'd toss that in the bag for the flight home.
Yeah,
You never know when you're going to need an Audioslave poster.
Revolver was a good hybrid between good mix between Rolling Stone and like the Hip Paraders and the Circus, because there was some posters and stuff. Because that's why I bought Circus and Hip Parader growing up, is just to take out the photos and plaster them on my wall.
Yeah, aesthetically, this is a little bit more professional. Like Hip Parader looks like I don't know, Photoshop fucking nightmare.
It looks like audio video class.
Yeah.
All right, am I digging in here?
Yeah, Twan, you're up.
Let me go about halfway down here. All right, this is a good one. We have a copy of Alternative Press from November 2004. So this shows you, this is, in this era, Absolute Punk was out, but it wasn't what it was or what it turned to be. PRP was out. So it was like early days of all the music blogs, but they weren't what they were. So you had to turn to stuff like this. But yeah, this is an alt press magazine with the Used on the cover.
Oh, nice.
And there's references of Sum 41, Good Charlotte, Senses Fail, Stray Light Run, and Simple Plan.
What year was that?
2004,
Nice.
November. So this was after In Love and Death? Is that?
Yeah, yep. Because that came out when we were in college.
No, Love and Death was 04, right?
Yeah, it must have been right around that time. Yep. Because they just celebrated 20 years of the first record, which is still a banger.
So that was the year we went to Warped Tour 20, right? 2004? In Boston.
I'm trying to think. It was either 04 or 05. I think it was 2005. But like all press in this era was on point because you still had Drive Through going on. You had Victory that was getting into this. Equal Vision was going on heavy. And then they also got into more like the punk stuff like Tiger Army and certainly pop punk and stuff like that. But I was big into alt press in this era.
Well, and In Love and Death's a good Used record too. I might listen to that on my way home.
That has what's the really loud track?
Oh, dude, sound effects and overdramatics.
Yes,
such a great song.
Yeah.
That
it could be their heaviest song.
Yes, it is. When you were listening to the Used, the self-title with Box of Sharp Objects, which also has some, is heavy, but like Blue and Yellow, which is not super heavy. Mm-hmm. Great song.
Yep.
But then you get that, like, 3/4 of the way through the second record, you're like, holy shit, who is this band and can I have more of it?
And then we talk about Frank Maddox. He did some of their artwork later on.
Yep.
But yeah, I love that all these mags were precursors to all the music blogs. Like, I wonder if like someone like Jason Tate, if that's that, I can't remember based on the conversation we had with him, but like these magazines were kind of the blueprint.
That was almost 2 years ago, that Tate conversation too.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember shit.
In terms of rating, what do you rate the magazine condition-wise?
Condition? Like an 8.5.
Nice.
We've had very good. We've had A-, we've had 8.5.
Yeah, we're not constrained.
We clearly don't have a uniform rating system here at the Podioslave Podcast.
All right, this is badass. This is Shadows Fall.
Oh, hell yeah.
Promo, one whole full page for War Within. On tour now with Damage Plan and The Haunted. And available at Sam Goody. So like that's what I love about this stuff. It's a snapshot into the era. Like I bet the Sam Goody still exists.
I don't think so.
And isn't this amazing? It's a quote from Revolver at the top.
In AP.
In AP.
And for context, the next page is an advertisement for Mountain Dew where you can randomly buy merch.
Yeah.
Soda
I
was,
had a Mountain Dew T-shirt.
Soda was big.
Come on.
Still is, but different
Yeah,
era.
different way. Though.
Health conscious wasn't a thing back then.
Snap a photo of that Shadows Fall. We got to send that to Brian.
Oh,
Yeah.
we definitely will. I'm going to do that right now.
All right, am I up?
You're up.
I'm actually surprised so far we're multiple publications. I thought I was more uniform to one or two.
And that Men's Health, like the Men's Health one is the out of left field one.
Exactly. What is that shit?
All right. Let me get back into my easy chair
What
here.
do we got here?
We have Metal Edge 20th anniversary. This is from August of 2005. My Chemical Romance on the cover.
On Metal Edge. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. So them for Warped Tour 2005. And we've got Avenged Sevenfold, Skindred, Billy Idol, All American Rejects, Offspring, and more. Def Leppard.
So it's all over the place. It's not even metal.
I was gonna say, is any of that metal? Like so far?
There's posters in here. 2 house bands and 1 band that Nate and I, Nate and I definitely ride for. And Twan, you might too. 9 Inch Nails,
Mm-hmm.
Queens of the Stone Age,
Mm-hmm.
Trust Company.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Lonely Position of Neutral.
Oh, such a great record.
Whisper
yeah.
singing.
Ooh, look at this! Look at this poster of Trent.
What do we have here? Clearly, I bought it for the posters. Is what it comes down to.
Oh, wow. Is that
We
a
got
jean
emo
jacket?
05 with
With long hair.
the with teeth era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That was a comeback album for them, or I guess it is him.
And then the backside here is the Queens.
Oh man, awesome.
So even Metal Edge got into the post game.
I
You
mean,
had to, right? In
You
that era.
especially like you're trying to. Oh, there's posters in there. I'm buying that as a nerd.
Exclusive.
This is why Nate bought it. I'm sure.
So I noticed on the back, it's Darkest Hour on the very back of the mag. Darkest Hour and A Perfect Murder. Though that was a Victory Records promo. That's a label that just hoard itself out
Yeah.
and just dumped money. And even if it didn't make sense, that is
The Trust Co.
Trust
Oh, wow,
Company.
okay.
Yeah.
And then the back is a band called Full Scale. Do you guys know Full Scale at
No.
all? Yeah, me either. Sorry, Full Scale.
Yeah. No offense. Hey, you made it in Metal Edge. So
Little inside baseball. We reached out to the singer of Trust Company like 2 years ago,
We did.
and I don't think he saw the message.
I don't either. They had kind of gone back and forth with us on Twitter a little bit, like a couple of likes here and there. Like we were trying to bait them.
Yeah.
Because, you do that in the podcast game, especially when you're up and coming and have no idea what you're doing. And I was like, oh, man, I think we're close.
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue either. He didn't. I don't think he ever saw it.
yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of Whisper Screaming at some point.
I mean, that record, The Lonely Position of Neutral, is a fucking great album.
Great, front to back, easy.
I think if he saw it, the message he would come on. Unless
Maybe.
he's just like anti-industry or something,
Yeah.
unless there's some narrative there.
He
that-
might be anti-industry at this point.
I mean, I think they did pretty well, but
And the second record was decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent. Stronger was a good song, right?
Stronger
That
was great.
Yeah.
That should have been on the first record even. Actually, it's a little more poppy, but
Simple Plan, melodic, motley, pop punk. I would never describe them as anything close to motley.
what was their album name? Something No Pads, Just Balls or something?
Yes, it's just like it felt so Industry Plan. I'm sorry. I people who love Simple Plan, I apologize.
And then I'm Just a Kid, Life is a Nightmare. That was a TikTok viral song recently.
man, album title, Bandicap type thing. Maybe that's coming up.
Hey, they're still big in Canada.
Yeah.
They had a co-headline with Newfound Glory the past couple of years.
Oh, Anthrax.
And ooh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I love them.
Those guys-
They're still
those guys
kicking
are
around
awesome.
too.
Big Yankee fans, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who told me that, but
You saw the band like some sitcom back in the day?
News Radio.
News
actually,
Radio is
yeah,
so cool,
yeah. And they
dude.
did Married with Children too.
Yep.
But
yep.
I remembered the News Radio thing. That was
Yeah.
kind of my formal introduction.
That's so cool.
Yeah, for the big four that's still doing it, it's tough to beat Anthrax.
Well, because you saw Megadeth recently, right? And then Anthrax is still going. Yeah,
Slayer's
everyone's
not.
going, but Slayer, yeah.
And Metallica still is, yeah.
Yep.
Megadeth, not
Nope.
bad.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Brian Fair again.
Oh wow.
All right, snap that photo. We're just going to send
Yeah, we're gonna send Brian. We apologize. We're sending you a bunch of photos.
It's too late to
And
apologize.
I think we might have him back on too. Maybe. I don't
Fingers
know.
crossed.
We'd
Fingers
like
We
crossed.
should have him. Yeah, we should.
All right, who's up? Nate, you up again?
Yeah, I guess I'm going
Hang
back
on to
to
that
the...
metal edge, man. If I had to rate that one, there was a thing cut out of it, but the posters are in good shape.
Oh,
Queens of
sweet.
Stone Age and Nine Inch Nails, and then who knew they'd collaborate later on too?
So what is the rating? You got to pick of a random other one since we've already done 3 different.
I would give it like a 76 out of 100.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
One flip, everyone knows the rules.
Stop trying to steal Portnoy's bits.
The thing is, if you get those, like with a baseball card, you can still see both sides of it when it's graded. With a comic or a mag, you're just
It's over. You never get to look through it again. We're getting better at our banter while someone picks
unless you crack it open and clean it up.
All right, I've been waiting for this moment all night. I guess it's kind of not a bummer, but it's covers a band that was already on another cover, but it's cool. We're finally pulling out a Kerrang magazine.
Ooh.
Out of all these
I've
magazines,
been waiting for a mag like you.
A dirty mag.
It's the first time I've sang on the podcast.
My life. Clean mag or dirty mag?
Dirty mag, of course.
Hey, is this the one with Jonah one-line drawing reference?
yeah. Oh, this could be the actual.
Ooh, this would be great.
If this is the one,
That would be
crazy.
Nerdvoyance times a billion.
Yeah.
And people would probably think that we planted it.
No,
Yep.
snap that and send it to Jonah.
So this magazine, out of all these magazines so far, this is the only one I actually had a subscription to, and this magazine's based out of the UK. So I remember seeing this at what's that bookstore, Barnes & Noble, where they have magazines from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing this magazine just being just so like amazed that the stories were better, the photos were better, everything was better, but it was also a weekly publication instead of monthly. So I was like, I'll subscribe, fuck it. So I'd get this every week, and I collected all of them. This is a Kerrang magazine from July 20th, 2002. Linkin Park's on the cover. And 2002, so finally we're going back. I feel like we were kind of stuck in 05 for a while. So this is between Hybrid Theory and obviously before Meteora. So I guess what's that album they put out in between?
Reanimation,
right?
Right.
That's what they were promoting in 02, I think.
Yeah.
That was like a live in Texas live thing.
Yep. So, and this is in great condition. Yeah, so I loved this magazine. I still do. I'm not subscribed anymore, but
You gotta find the part.
I know if I can find it.
You said 01?
02, 2002.
Yeah. So
Yep.
we would have been, juniors into senior year. And I remember Twan getting that reanimation the day that it came out and listening to it in your basement.
Oh yeah, I had good sound system down there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, shouts to Slick, of course.
Pimp the thing out.
Someone's got to put Photograph on really loud, the outfield, like we need all of that.
Crank that.
So an interesting thing to see this in, older eyes or not when it came out is checking out things that I probably just flipped right by and just went to the stuff that I really wanted to read. And the front, I didn't realize that Kerrang, the front part of the magazine, is kind of like tabloidish. It's like, girl steps out, the foos man, never short of a lady friend. Clearly he wasn't married at the time.
Oh, boy.
But it's just with a lady, and it's like a paparazzi type OK magazine,
People.
tabloid magazine.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then right under it, white stripes, incest shocker, and it's Megan and Jack White making out in a photo. Looks like it's a shot from a music video or something.
That's that feels dirty.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, not the Meg and Jack White piece, the Kerrang going full tabloid.
I mean, I didn't even know that when I got that. I just clearly flipped right past it, didn't care. Then we got a video game advertisement. Some story about Disturbed making a music video. What is the headline there? I just got to read it. Disturbed do Crack Alley. New video stars band hookers and drunks. Okay. All right.
One thing I love about Kerrang, and Nate, you've talked about this twice on the podcast with guests, is it's how you discovered Jonah from maybe this issue. And you referenced when we chatted with Vinny from Movie Life about how Daryl, right, from Glassjaw would mention, I think that's what it was, mention Movie Life, and Movie Life was in there, those mags. So this was like the liner notes, you would just...
Oh, yeah.
Again, this is pre-internet.
Mashed up with Dave Grohl out on a date.
I know.
But that's the piece that's the reason that you buy these things, especially around this time, because you're going to get some insight that you wouldn't have gotten, because the internet was not what the internet is today. Like, You're not finding these things. You're not listening to a podcast with Vinny Caruana who's explaining that to you. You know what I mean?
Well, in 2002, were we beyond dial-up at that point? Cable?
Ooh, I may not have been. It was around that time.
Because I feel like that was pre-cable was AOL.
Yep.
Post 56K was, I think we were on Roadrunner up in Maine. And that's when, I feel like that's when the internet became the internet. Before that, it was like chat rooms and shit like that, which I don't remember going to websites. Like,
no.
You know?
No, you'd pull up Napster and try to download a song.
That's right.
And it would take you a day. So
what a world. Like, I wish I could relive the newness of all of it, because it didn't make any sense.
Nope.
It still kind of doesn't, but we know how to navigate it.
Right. Well, we're a different, at our age, a different generation for that stuff too, because we saw it both ways. You know, we saw the dial-up, not having it, and then the dial-up version of it, and then, you know, oh, wow, this is really fast now, and oh, it's in my pocket now, and oh, I can have any song I want from, you know, any era for the most part now. This is kind of wild.
I heard Nate, like, divides life into two parts, pre-iPhone and post-iPhone.
He does, yes. 08, right, Nate? Is that the year, 08?
07.
07, oh, thanks. I knew he'd know. I knew I knew it was 07. I was fucking with you.
So I'm like skimming through this Linkin Park part of the magazine, kind of like those old commercials. Speaking of like retro, like remember the speed reading infomercials where they like put their hand.
Yeah, Howard Berg.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that to try to find the Jonah one-line drawing reference, and it must not be in this magazine or this issue at least.
That's okay.
But I'm going quick. But yeah, this is really, man, this is crazy to see, because I'm almost getting flashbacks of like getting this in the mail and checking it out. But this magazine is in perfect condition. Like,
yeah, what would you give it?
I mean, I'd give this
to the thousandth decimal.
Yeah. Whew. Nate's like, I don't have a number.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know, man. This is perfect. But
all right, perfect. That's the number you gave it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go perfect.
Yep.
Like that Simple Plan song. Promise I can't be
perfect. And then I sang again. Weird.
Here's the best part. So here's why I really like the
sang
magazine.
last week. He sang A Bottle of Red.
Oh, that's right.
Here's the part of the magazine where I was always just so fascinated by hopefully eventually getting to Europe and going to one of these festivals. Is they had the festival lineup poster in the
nice
as a full page.
Yeah, that would make me want to go.
And it's like it's the legit poster. So it's like that's what they would staple in like subways and stuff. And I just remember being like, man, imagine going to Leeds and Reading Festival, and the headliners are Guns N' Roses, Prodigy, Offspring, Slipknot, Incubus, NoFX, Strokes, Foo Fighters, Muse, James. I mean, it's everyone. It's literally everyone.
That's a lot, yeah.
And then just, everyone underneath, like anything from like Feeder to I don't even know who Feeder is, Aphex Twin, Jimmy Eat World. It's so we've had people on the podcast that talk about that, like European Festival. I mean, it's.
Well, I was just thinking as you were flipping through that is. The promoter of that fest who paid for that ad, you can't measure the impressions. I mean, Kerrang can tell you how many issues they sold, but like you just said, you're flipping through it. And nowadays,
Papa Roach. Nate's it's the 04 Love Hate Tragedy or 02 Love Hate Tragedy.
Yes.
Is this the
baby on
this
the cover?
Is deep into the back. You can't measure like
Korn,
like
POD.
European. This is for like the actual just gigs at theaters and stuff. So you have like Green Day with opener Iggy Pop. I mean, that's crazy.
Wow.
Imagine that, like a regional venue puts say like Hammerstein Ballroom puts an ad in there, like in a UK mag. You know what I mean? It's just throwing shit at the wall just to see if someone in the area happens to see it.
It is wild.
And you could bullshit on the metrics too. Kerrang be like, yeah, we sold so many issues and.
Oh, Walter
from Rival Schools, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the best part of the magazine, just to close, is the last page is a preview of what's going on next week. Like literally, talk about like short attention span now. Like this magazine literally was every week, so it's like you flip to the last page and it's already something talking about Silverchair coming out next week. It's like waiting for an HBO show episode to drop. Like, oh, I'm ready for the next week.
That's a cool way to do that.
Yeah.
All right,
we
digging
in. You up?
Dig it on me, dig it on you. Oh, baby, baby. It's on like that.
The fact that we haven't had a repeat yet is insanity.
Well, it's funny you said no repeats because I just got one and I'm skipping it.
Not Green Day again. No, I'm just kidding.
They're everywhere.
All right. I don't even know what this is. This is another Kerrang magazine. It is the band Ash, and the title is Thug Life. The only thing I know about Ash is that they were regional, I think, to the UK, but I saw them. Any idea who they opened for at the State Theater in 2002 to 3 timeframe?
Ooh.
They were a CYY band, too. They played... actually, I won their CD when... You guys remember in Portland on India Street, the Portland Pie Company?
Yep.
CYY was giving away tickets to this show and giving away Ash's album. I think it was like Free Angels. Yeah, Free Angels. Any guesses?
Give me a hint.
The initials, the initials of the band are something that you don't ever want to get.
Saves the day.
Yes. Good pull. Nate's like, well, what if I do want to get that?
The last time you gave me a hint was on the trivia episode, and it went way over my head. That one I got.
I couldn't pick out an Ash song to save my life. The other folks on the cover here, it says Fight Club, Papa Roach versus Eminem inside their U.S. tour. So that was, what tour was that? Family Values? No, what tour was that?
It had to have been.
Yeah.
What year is it? What year is the magazine?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even say that. 2002, August 10th.
Yeah, it must have been Anger Management, like a European leg or something.
And then Bowling for Soup is referenced on the cover.
Wow. Ash. I feel like I know the name, but I couldn't pick out a song either. And Saves the Day of the State, that's pretty cool, actually.
And then I think the second to the last article must be maybe up and coming or, I don't know, smaller bands, because this has Tenacious D.
Nice.
Oh, no, they were out. Yeah, that was out. They were known at that point in time.
Yeah, because that came out in 01, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember they came to the Civic Center and they opened for Weezer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't go because I'm a fucking idiot. And
Jimmy
I remember,
World.
didn't they do a meet and greet at Bullmoose?
Yeah.
Yep.
And didn't we have a friend bring him a bowling pin?
Yes.
It was Dan, our buddy Dan,
Dan
right?
R, yeah, right.
Yeah. He signed a bowling pin and gave it to Tenacious D at the meet and greet, as opposed to asking for something signed.
That's awesome.
Because if you knew Dan, that's what Dan would do.
I wonder what they've been. I mean, obviously they probably loved it, knowing them.
I know. Looking back on it now, I'm like, that's brilliant. At the time, I was like, what? But now, yeah, especially knowing the trajectory of Tenacious D and Jack Black and the kookiness that they always had.
Well, if they do keep stuff and it's on an MTV Cribs and you see it in the background, it's like, that's Dan R. Damn.
It's kind of amazing. Yeah.
Wait, did he give it to him?
I think so. Yeah. I think
Wow.
he signed it himself and gave it to them. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was Weezer, Tenacious D, Jimmy Eat World, Stack.
Yeah. Jimmy Eat World. Holy
Stacked.
shit. I forgot about that. Why didn't I go to that fucking show?
Well, if you went to that show looking to see Jimmy Eat World, one, they didn't play a long set, and two, the line was so long that I think
Yeah. Yep.
the people I went with, we just caught like the middle or whatever, Bleed America, whatever the big single was at that point in time that they played last. Only caught them like a song or two.
I must have been with you because I remember missing everything but Weezer.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because Tenacious D opened, or did they go after?
They must have been
They were
after,
they were
because
in
they were
between.
they were pretty big at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the self-titled had come out, and that was kind of a big deal, tribute and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have since seen all three bands, but at the time I hadn't seen any of them, so that worked. That worked out. I think about 10 years ago, my brother and I saw Tenacious D in Boston, and on their tour for an album that came out, Rise of the Phoenix, maybe, and obviously seen Weezer a couple times, and seen Jimmy Eat World finally with you, Twan, like 5 years ago.
Great show, too.
That show was
Aura.
fucking awesome.
That was my first Aura show.
I love Aura. That's where I saw Frank Turner a couple weeks back. If you check our socials, there's a couple of videos of that on there, and just such a great venue. Yeah. Cool. All right, last. I'm up.
You're
My
up.
turn?
You're up. Yep.
Let's do it.
You guys talk amongst
You're
yourselves.
up, the final countdown.
The final countdown.
It's going to be Kerrang for 3 for 3.
I
Is it
think
gonna be-
you might go another MH18 just to shock the world here.
Pull a circus. We need a circus in here. Hit Parader is cool, but circus was better.
Were you a circus guy?
I love circus.
I think they were interchangeable.
They were, but Circus is, I mean, in terms of
No
aesthetic.
cover on that one?
In terms of aesthetic, Circus was cleaner. Hit Parader is just all over the place.
Low thread count. Hard with no covers.
Ooh, what do we got?
Digging deep here.
Looks like a Kerrang. Is it a Kerrang?
It's a Kerrang.
Kerrang.
Weekly mag. Nate had them all.
Yep.
The first one I tried to pull out didn't have a cover, so we don't know what that is. It's on top. Maybe we'll pull it as a bonus here in a minute. This is a Kerrang from May 17th, 2003. So we haven't really been in this era, just once, I think.
Yeah.
The band on the cover are the Stereophonics, who I don't remember. Do you guys remember them?
Only the name. I couldn't tell you anything about them.
Yeah, I think I got a free CD once.
They were from the UK? Must have been.
I mean, talk about an era. Like, I got a free CD. I have a magazine that's promoting, and I still didn't listen.
And then, I mean, other bands on the cover: Evanescence, Metallica, Korn, Sum 41, Avril Lavigne.
So let's talk about that name. Does not make me want to listen to them. I can't associate. Maybe it's what Britpop. I don't know.
I think so.
Or something noisy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they didn't hit for us because none of us know who they are. And sorry, I pulled this dud of a magazine. But the bottom one is, there's like a quote from an interview, and like there's not a picture about it, but I could be in jail. Inside Matt Skiba's Heart of Darkness.
Oh wow.
Well, as Rob, our double-time guest, Matt Skiball.
Yeah.
Songs for the Deaf, but Deftones, and it's Deftones' self-titled from 03.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
It's in the middle of the mag here. Cool photo of the guys.
Oh, nice.
Clever.
I love that album. How was that received? I can't remember in the moment how it was received.
Minerva was everywhere. But that might have just been where we were and the radio station playing it a lot, but I felt like I saw it all over the place. I don't remember liking that record as much as some other Deftones things. It's probably something I need to revisit.
Well, because it was off the heels of White Pony, which didn't help. I loved the skull, the logo. There's some heavy, like, was it When Girls Telephone Boys?
Yep. Battle Axe,
yeah.
ton of good songs. I liked it out of the gate, but I remember thinking
Pins and
commercially
Needles.
wise, it looked like it flopped. White Pony was such a powerful album, so.
It's a record that I definitely need to check out again because it's been too long. Because whenever I go grab a Deftones record, it's Ohms Now or Koi or White Pony. There's plenty more that I will gravitate towards, but that's one that I should definitely pick back up.
I remember thinking when it came out, like, fuck, they're a Hot Topic band now, because it was like Deftones, like clear vinyl at Hot Topic and like T-shirts and stuff, and I was like, that's my band. I don't want it to be a commercial band,
You're right on the money, because I had that album that I bought at Hot Topic at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree upstairs, and it was discounted. It was like $4.99, and then I sold it when I sold all my vinyl in 2012 for like $100.
Damn.
Original.
And now it's worth more, obviously.
I'm sure. Yeah, be something to fact check.
And they are next week's issue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Inside, the blood, the sweat, the tears, up close and personal with the world's coolest band, Deftones.
And you know what? That was a Deftones. This is going to turn into the Deftones episode. Deftones were a perfect band for the Kerrangs, alt presses, all those mags to latch onto, because they bridge the gap from nu metal kids to alt press. Like, there's no shame in that Deftones game if you like the Deftones. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Universal band. And you got Stefan, who's got the riff, so he could be on Guitar Magazine.
Right, totally. Yeah. They did have different prongs that people don't realize that obviously haven't spent time with them. They could fit into a bunch of different worlds.
Yep, could be on Revolver. And what's that, MH18? Is that what it's called?
They could have been on Men's Health 18, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not today. Back
Tiger
then.
Beat. Yeah, ladies do love Chino. He's a heartthrob.
That's going to do it tonight, I think. We've got some, Twan and I got an hour ride back home because, again, we're at an undisclosed location up Maine somewhere. And if you know up Maine, then you know. And in the woods, no internet, no lights, no music.
Just anger.
Just anger. Yeah, so check us out on the socials at Podioslave. Hit us up, podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. Oh, and we meant to do this at the beginning, and I'm sorry, I might even toss this at the beginning. Chip, thank you so much for hitting us up on the podcast supporter page, man. We've got a new podcast supporter, Chip, who we've talked about a bunch. He's a friend of ours from out west now, a new friend, a new pod supporter, and without people like him, I don't know how we continue to do this. So thank you guys for doing stuff like that. Thank you, Chip, for becoming a podcast supporter. And if you want to, it's at the bottom of this episode. Click on it. Give $1, give $5, give whatever you want, man. We could use it. It will help keep the lights on at the Podioslave Party.
Exactly. Yeah, the amount of money I sunk into this print media alone is substantial. So yeah, let's at least break even at some point.
Hey, the pod does have overhead. We do. We got websites, we got hosting, we got subscriptions, all that stuff just to keep it running, and anything like that helps. Yeah, and about tonight, I mean, this was for the nerds. This is like, we talk about this all the time. This is what we would have done if the mics were not in the room.
True.
We would have just, what is it? The favorite thing that people in the 30s like to do is talk about shit from the 90s. Like, yeah, that's what we do.
And in terms of like recording in the middle of nowhere, like, I don't know if you've seen like Doomsday Preppers. Like, this is literally like a bin of like shit like preserved in like a fucking bunker.
Is this edible?
That's a good point. If we ever were to have like a fallout, we could still do the podcast.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have plenty of stuff to look at and talk about. So thank you guys for tuning in to Podioslave, and we'll be back again next week.
Thanks, everyone. We'll be back, and see you next week.
Cheers, nerds.
Peace, podheads.